Last week over on Retro Prime, I did a countdown of my favorite Freddy Krueger kills. I'm back here on the main channel to rank the films in the franchise. I did state in that video, while Freddy Krueger isn't my favorite slasher, seeing as I grew up with Jason and Michael, I still enjoy the character and his movies. I will go from worst to best of the 9 films in the series. If you think my list is all out of whack, leave a comment and tell me your ranking. Without further ado, let's get to the list. Number 9. Freddys Dead, The Final Nightmare. I would be willing to bet that 99.9% of Nightmare fans have this at the bottom. This is such a trash attempt at not only a sequel, but at a final entry in a franchise. It involves giving Freddy a bit of an origin story while also looking for his long-lost child. The movie tries to build this mystery of who it could be, but it's glaringly obvious. And Freddy, by this point, is an absolute joke. By this point, he is no longer scary, and his dark humor is just now shit humor.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul, too.
Ugh. It's so annoyingly terrible, and the death of Freddy is incredibly weak. Number 8, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. This one is just boring. Alice, the protagonist from the previous film, is pregnant, and Freddy has returned by entering the unborn child's dreams and going after her friends.
What? What the fuck?
The plot of this is just stupid, and the kills are very weak with the exception of Dan. This is one I tend to skip because I get bored very quickly, and Spawn of Freddy is terrible. Number 7, A Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I remember walking out of this actually enjoying it, but then as it slowly sank in and I rewatched it when it came out on video, I realized it was pretty bad. The acting is not good, especially from Nancy's actress, who seems like she's just bored out of her mind. She lacked the great personality and fighter mentality that the original Nancy had. And the fact that they tried to make it seem like Freddy was innocent was a huge misstep. He's evil, there's no two ways around it. Trying to make the audience potentially sympathize with him in the off chance he was burned alive for no reason ruins everything we know about him. But the craziest thing is, I don't mind Jackie Earle Haley's performance as Freddy.
Now that you got me, what game do you want to play next?
Fuck you.
Ooh, sounds like fun.
He's no Robert Englund, but I thought he was the best part, except for that terrible makeup. Fix that, the script, and the actors, and it could have been a great remake. Number 6, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Now that I've gotten my least favorite out of the way, the rest are ones I enjoy quite a bit. The Dream Master is a decent entry with some creative kills. My negatives would be Freddy's revival is dumb as hell, and they pull an Alien 3 by killing off the surviving characters we loved from the previous movie. But I still get a kick out of Freddy even as he enters his comedic phase. The final fight between Alice and Freddy is cool, and I love the souls tearing Freddy apart from the inside at the end. I oddly don't have too much to say about this one, it's just okay. Number 5, Freddy vs. Jason. I think I rated this pretty low on my Friday the 13th countdown, but it's fairly high here because it's fun as hell for a nightmare movie. Freddy is at his best since probably part 3 between his actual scariness and dark humor. He unfortunately only gets 1 kill and it's not even that good. But when he fights Jason, he becomes badass and puts up a better fight than one would have expected. I don't particularly care for this one as a Friday the 13th movie, but in the Nightmare franchise, it's definitely one of the most fun. Number 4, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. This one gets way too much of a bad rap, mostly because it's one of the gayest horror movies ever made. Not saying it in an offensive way, it's legit filled with homosexual overtones. It's really freaking weird. However, this is a damn good nightmare movie. Freddy is still scary here with a great makeup design and sadistic personality. He's trying to use our main character Jesse as a human avatar to help him with his killing, and it leads to some fucked up dreams.
You've got the body. I've got the brain.
And the best moment comes from an amazing special effects scene as Freddy tears himself out from inside Jesse. Anyone who says this is the worst entry really needs to go back and give it a rewatch. Number 3, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. First time I saw this, I really didn't like it. Granted, I was young and I wasn't up on the whole meta thing yet. I was expecting a Freddy slice and dice movie and it was totally different. But now, I really like the story and return to a scary, newly designed Freddy. Setting it in the real world following the actors from the original Nightmare movies being tormented by a demon manifesting themselves as Freddy.
I get it.
I don't get it.
It sounds crazy, but now I really appreciate it from being a departure from what I thought Freddy movies were. It was ahead of its time when it was released, but definitely set the stage for Scream, which was also very self-referential of the horror genre. Number 2, A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors. This does everything right that one expects from a sequel. Freddy is back and manages to balance being scary and humorous. New characters are brought in, along with returning old ones, and you care about them equally, hoping they survive. The remaining Elm Street kids, who are locked away in an asylum, discover they can use the power of the dreams to fight back against Freddy thanks to the advice of Nancy, survivor of the original film. It's a cool concept that doesn't recycle stuff from the previous movies and leads to a collection of some of the best kills. It also has a great soundtrack thanks to Dawkins. Easily the best sequel of all. But my number 1 is of course the original Nightmare on Elm Street. The simple idea that someone could be killed in their dream was genius. We can run away from Jason, Michael, and Chucky, but Wes Craven preyed upon the simple fact that we all have to sleep. You cannot escape Freddy. Sooner or later you have to sleep, and in that moment of vulnerability you can be killed. And the man haunting the nightmare is scary as hell with his burned skin and razor claws. The original film gives us a group of likable characters who we hope can survive Freddy's wrath and builds a great mystery as to what exactly the hell he is. The imagery in the school, boiler room, back alleys, you name it, it's so freaking creepy. The score is memorable and the deaths are brutal and truly frightening. I believe this is Wes Craven's best film and certainly the best in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. What did you think of my list? Thought Dream Warriors should top the original? Give me your list of worst to best in the comments below because I love to compare. Next week I'll be moving back over to Retro Prime to cover the top 10 deaths in Halloween. I will return here on October 31st to present my ranking of the Halloween franchise. I'll see you all then. Peace.